My sense is that you are saying that it was the Babangida administration that broke this apart. But that is true. But you also recall that during the Shagari administration, the MPN had already started to infiltrate the union. They had a body that was full of very wealthy, by students' standard, they were living, I've forgotten the name of the book, it has something like a green, what they call them, green palm.
Yes, we you know, they were hiding under the kind of peace movements and
something like that, and they had come.
You are right now.
So we can say that the military administration made the student union to blossom, but it was the military that broke it.
Yes, you are right. It started with Shagari's government. As a matter of fact, my opponents at the Just Convention, where I was elected as president, was believed to have been sponsored by the NPN government then, the government of the National Party of Nigeria. You know, in those days, we used to, when we are student union activists, we go by road, we go by train, we join the train at Ibadan by 6 p.m. if you want to go to the northern part of the country. But they came to Jos, they were flown to Jos. And for you to afford a ticket of about return ticket of 40 naira at that time was like 40 would be like 40 million naira today. So it started then. Even attempts to withdraw educational subsidies started with that government because there was a lot of profligacy. They wasted a lot of resources, and that was why even when the Buhari coup came in December 1983, we must put on record that. It was warmly embraced by the Generality of Nigeria. Students trooped out. They were happy because they had seen the worst of a corrupt government. The only thing is that history is probably now teaching us otherwise. So yes, I agree with you. We can't put the entire blame on the military. But under the civilian government, it was difficult for them to succeed. But for the military, it was. They were really overrunning everybody. And that was why we also have to place on record that, student union activists, some of them who had left the campuses to join the pro-democracy movement, to join the media, played a decisive role in ensuring that we had a return to democracy.
Yeah, sorry to cut you short. I remember that during when the Buhari regime just came in, people were saying Happy New Year, Happy New Government.
Yes,
I remember under the buttery, under the Awolowo Hall buttery, you were contending with some people. Say, what do you mean? What do you mean by Happy New Year, Happy New Year? A regime that is filled with generals? I know you're I remember you saying that. But I just want to tell you that there were moments of vanity in the elections, in the union. So sometimes we're trying to over glamorize that period. You remember Ebisheni, when he was running for welfare office, the only thing that gave him the parties was because he said, Great Ife,
was ice cream.
Where has our ice cream gone? That's all.
Exactly.
And then Chris Fajamifo, when he was running, he just said, John Locke said. And that's how nobody knew what John Locke said. And they voted for him.
You are right, Sam. If you follow the trend of my submission, I keep saying we need to have a sense of balance. Because we were not, and interestingly, it's like you are reviewing the book. What I've tried to do is to give a true account of what happened. The book is not about we radicals, we socialists, it's about what happened. So the example of Shola Ibisheni is in that book. Yeah, and so you see, students, I also gave the example, if you recall, of that our great friend, Ayodele Oji.
Yes.
The guy who, because maybe he was afraid to face the crowd, the press night, the previous day, he was dead drunk.
Yes,
and everybody was calling him Ogogoro Oji. Yeah. but at the speech night, the following day, he did the unthinkable. In fact, that speech night was hugely attended.
Yes.
But when he came, people were looking forward to see another display by the Ogogoro Oji. And then this time around, he was wearing the 2-piece suit.
Yes.
And you recall I wore my own 3-piece suit.
Yes.
That's why I'm wearing a 3-piece suit today. And then he stepped forward and he said, oh, Great Ife. Yes, it's true. I was drunk yesterday. I want to apologize. I'm very serious. Then he was carrying a wooden box and he said, oh, this is my suggestion box. And Tune just said, you don't win, you don't win.
Well, Lanre, all the pictures you have painted are really very interesting. And they are a replica of what unionism has been and all of that interest in there. But when it comes to, finally, when it comes to the issue of lessons to learn, you've told the story in the book, Breaking Coconut with Your Head. What are some of the itemized lessons that student union leaders of today will have to learn and pick from the book you are unveiling today?
I think the first lesson they need to learn is that they are accountable to the students that elect them, not to outside interests. And as long as they don't do that, there will always be the problem. So they need to learn that lesson. They also need to learn the lesson that when it comes to confronting government, you also have to be well armed with your facts, with your information. You need to do your research. You need to come from from an informed point of view. One of our slogans on campus then, we used to be that the educator has to be educated. Student union leaders are supposed to be educators, and they need to be educated. Then another lesson is that they need to read. They need to learn. I've mentioned some of the books I read. I can't even mention the books we were reading on campus. At every book fair, we were there, buying all kind of literature and reading them, making criticism, because they need to expand the horizon of their knowledge so that people will not see them as rabble rousers. They need to learn the lesson in being articulate, in being able to present your information. And I would recommend the parliamentary system to all the student unions, because you come there, if you say rubbish, that's where you learn, how to debate. All those lessons. I think if we do them, different generations will produce leaders. Looking at that book, let me say that, well, we didn't achieve all, but I think our generation could be proud of what we've done. We have...
All right, Lanre, unfortunately, we don't have all the time anymore.
We have run out of time.
Thank you so much.
I know. You gave me extra time. Sam, thank you.
Don't break your head.
Thank you so much.
All right. And the book has been launched today, right?
Yeah, it's been launched today at the event center. I think I can take the liberty of these adverts just opposite the African Shrine from 11 a.m. There will be coconuts to eat. Because,
all right, we'll have to leave it here now. Thank you so much.